Welcome, everyone. In this guide, put together for us by the experts at Pro Tax Accountant, we're going to get right into something that's absolutely crucial for anyone earning money in the UK. We're going to explore why a professional tax accountant isn't just helpful, they might just be the most valuable partner you have, so let's jump right in. Right, let's kick things off with a number that should really make you sit up and listen. £20 billion. That's how much HMRC generates every single year from their compliance work alone. And that's not profit, that's money they've recovered from tax investigations and checks. It's a massive, massive figure, and it tells us one thing very clearly. They are looking very, very closely at our tax returns.
So that huge number leads to a really personal question, doesn't it? A question for every single freelancer, every landlord, every small business owner out there. Let's be honest, if that dreaded brown envelope from HMRC dropped through your letterbox tomorrow saying they want to look at your accounts, are you really ready for that kind of scrutiny?
So, what does this all really mean for you and me? Well, what it means is that HMRC inquiries are definitely on the up. And here's the thing you really need to get your head around. They can be totally random. This isn't just about them chasing down people who are trying to cheat the system. They're casting a much, much wider net.
You see, every year, thousands upon thousands of tax returns get flagged for a closer look. And, there's this big myth that you'll only get investigated if you've done something wrong. The reality? Their systems can flag a return for pretty much any reason, or for no reason at all. It could just be a random spot check. You could have the most perfect records in the world and still get picked.
Let's make this real. Think about someone like Alex, a freelance graphic designer in London. She's super diligent, she uses good software, she never misses a deadline. In her head, she's thinking, I'm safe, I've got nothing to worry about. But the risk of that random check is always there, no matter how careful she is. That's not all. Here's where most people go wrong. They completely underestimate what an enquiry actually involves.
Look, here's the thing. An investigation, it's not really about whether you owe a bit more tax. For most people, believe it or not, that's the smallest part of the problem. It's the process itself, the stress, the constant questions, the digging up of old records that can turn into an absolute nightmare long before they even make a decision.
All right, so check this out. There are basically two flavors of inquiry. On one hand, you've got the full inquiry. That's the big one, a complete, top-to-bottom deep dive into everything. It's as costly and stressful as it sounds. But then you have an aspect inquiry. That's where they zoom in on one specific thing. Like, hey, can you prove these home office expenses? It sounds smaller, but even that can spiral into a huge time sink that needs professional help.
And this slide, wow, it really lays out the real cost. We're not just talking about pounds and pence here. We're talking about genuine stress and anxiety, sleepless nights. We're talking about taking huge chunks of time away from actually running your business to deal with it all. These things can drag on for months, and the accountant's fees to defend you can easily hit thousands of pounds, even if it turns out you did everything right from the start.
Yup, exactly. Our freelancer Alex gets it now. The risk isn't about being dodgy, it's just about your number coming up. But, and this is the important part, there is some really good news. There's a way you can completely protect yourself from the financial pain of this whole process. Stay with me. This next point might surprise you.
Okay, so how do you protect yourself from all this? Well, this is where a great tax accountant steps in. And there's so much more than just a number cruncher you see once a year. They're your guide, your strategist, and if HMRC ever does come knocking, they become your financial shield.
A lot of top firms, Pro Tax Accountant included, offer something called tax investigation protection. The easiest way to think of it is like an insurance policy for your tax return. It's designed to cover one thing, the professional fees for your accountants to handle the entire inquiry for you. Now this is crucial. This defense work isn't usually part of your normal annual fee, so without protection, those costs would come straight out of your pocket.
And these policies, they can cover a huge amount, often up to £100,000. What that means for you is your accountant can fight your corner properly, spending whatever time it takes to get the right results, and you don't have to sit there watching the clock, worrying about a massive bill at the end. It's a total game changer.
So, pro tip, what's actually covered? Well, this is the great part. It's super comprehensive. It covers both of those full and aspect inquiries we talked about. It covers compliance visits for things like VAT or PAYE. It even covers really tricky, expensive stuff like IR35 disputes. And as a bonus, a lot of policies give you access to a 24/7 business legal helpline, which is an amazing perk for any other legal questions you might have. But listen, having a financial shield is one thing. The real value, the thing that lets you sleep at night, comes from knowing you're partnered with a true professional, someone who is bound by a really strict, non-negotiable code of ethics.
Okay, so there's this thing called the Professional Conduct in Relation to Taxation, or PCRT for short. And honestly, this is the gold standard in the UK. It's not just a friendly suggestion, it's a mandatory set of rules. Think of it like a doctor's oath, but for your finances. It's a promise to protect you, the client, above all else.
The PCRT is built on 5 really simple, fundamental principles. Every single qualified tax accountant from a major professional body has to live and breathe these. So let's quickly break down what they actually mean for you.
First up, integrity. Simple, right? It just means being straight up and honest. In the real world, that means your accountant will not try to pull a fast one or suggest you claim for something dodgy. They give you the right advice every time, which saves you from a world of trouble down the line.
Next, objectivity. This is a big one. It means the advice you get is purely for your benefit. No hidden agendas, no conflicts of interest. The advice is based on what's right for you and your financial situation, period.
And number 3, professional competence and due care. You know, tax rules change all the time. This principle is your guarantee that your advisor is on top of their game, that they know the absolute latest rules for the 2025/26 tax year inside and out. The other 2, confidentiality and professional behavior, basically ensure your private information stays private and that you're always treated with respect.
So, knowing all this, what do you do next? Well, understanding this stuff is powerful. It means you can go out and find not just an accountant, but the right expert partner for you, someone you can genuinely trust with your financial well-being. All right, let's just quickly pull all that together. First, the risk of an HMRC check is real for absolutely everyone. Second, the true cost is about so much more than money. It's your time and your sanity. Third, a pro tax accountant with investigation protection is your shield and your guide. And finally, the best in the business are held to that strict ethical code, so you know they've always got your back. So, I want to leave you with one final question to think about. Just take a second and be honest with yourself. Is your current tax strategy really built on a solid foundation? Do you have that expert advice and that strong protection in place? Are you as prepared as you could be? Look, if any of this has made you think, or if you just want to chat about your own situation, feel free to reach out to the specialists who actually put this guide together. You can contact the team at Pro Tax Accountant directly. The best way is by WhatsApp or phone on 07985689912, or you can drop them an email at info@protaxaccountant.co.uk.
And just before we finish, a quick but important note. Please remember, the information we've talked about today is for general guidance. It's not a substitute for professional advice. For help that's tailored specifically to you, it's absolutely essential that you consult with a qualified expert, like the team at Pro Tax Accountant, before making any financial decisions. Thanks so much for your time.